Well, it's the opening of the English Premier League season this past weekend. We're headed to the semifinals of the Women's World Cup starting Tuesday at 1 a.m. and then Wednesday with the semifinals. Let's kind of run through the laundry list of hot stories. If you're a soccer fan, we talk about this all the time. Mbappe, who 2 weeks ago said no to Saudi Arabia's crazy money on a split deal with Real Madrid, then opened talks with Real Madrid. This weekend, I'm led to believe Sunday, reopened talks with Paris Saint-Germain. So love me not. I'm not sure where he's going to go, but all of a sudden, PSG is evidently laying more money on the table that they want to retain him. They have to retain him because they just lost Neymar. $99 million transfer fee, $128 million contract over 2 years. He's going where? Saudi Arabia. Al Hilal. He becomes the 22nd player from other teams internationally, globally, to leave to go play Saudi Arabia. So Neymar has gone. Harry Kane, the superstar, Tottenham Hotspur, he finally signs the deal to leave. He's going to Bayern Munich, $110 million transfer, $125 million salary package. Now, I don't understand this Hotspur doing this the first week of the season, and he is gone, and they got all the money. But where are you going to get players to replace the leading scorer in the English Premier League? But Harry Kane is gone. We found out this morning the Saudi Public Investment Fund that's been spraying money globally for all the sports, they own 4 teams in that Saudi league. That's why there have been 22 players from the English Premier League and other leagues in Europe that have gone to Saudi Arabia, and they're signing with the 4 teams that the PIF owns. It'd be like if there was the Saudi Public Investment Fund owned 7 teams in the American League in baseball, and they're signing all these players to place them on those teams. And there is no, quote, salary cap in Saudi Arabia, so the money rules. A couple of other notes. Matt Turner, the goalkeeper, Team USA, came from New England Revolution. He signed a week ago to play for Nottingham Forest in the EPL.
Oh, right on.
Made his first start and nearly beat Arsenal. They lost 2-1 in the first game of the season. He was making saves everywhere. So, lease on life. He was a backup who was supposed to be part of Arsenal a year ago, didn't get much chance to play, but he grew as a keeper in practice and all that. And now he gets signed by Nottingham Forest, so he played very well out of the gate. Women's World Cup. Another big name gone. Japan on their way home. Out. So we get to the Women's World Cup. Spain, Sweden at 1 o'clock Tuesday morning. Oh, wow. Bring your beer. I'll bring the sub sandwiches. Tell the wife to stay in the room, and we'll watch here in the studio. Spain, Sweden on Tuesday, and then Wednesday, I think it's a phenomenal story. England has had all types of knee injury problems to a lot of their star scorers. England is in the semifinals. It's going to be tough. They're going to play Australia, the host team. And everybody's making a big thing about the English Lioness, that's the women's team as it's called, versus and I don't know where this came from, the Australia Matildas. That's their name. So they're going to play Wednesday morning. Now, that'll be a 3 a.m. game, so I don't know if I'll make my way over to the studios to watch that with you. But so we're down to the semifinals, but Japan's gone. I thought Japan was really at the inside track to win it. So I corner kicked you a lot. Make a save on a penalty shot. Go ahead.
Yeah, Japan was like one of the top teams in this thing. And it was kind of neat to see them compete at that level. But I just want to go back to the Matt Turner news, because isn't it interesting how American soccer stars play in the EPL, and almost every time they're keepers? You know, I mean, there's been a lot of them that have gone there.
Well, Pulisic was not, but Tim Howard was.
Yeah, Tim Howard. And there's been others. But Pulisic went there, and struggled. He didn't really catch on. So it's just odd how that works. I don't understand that completely.
Well, he earned the chance because he continued to play better in global competition for Team USA. And he got the chance to play because of injuries to Zach Steffen and others. But he earned this contract. Now, understand, who's the top teams when you look at the tables in the English Premier League? It's Manchester City and Erling Haaland, and it's Manchester United, and it's Liverpool. It used to be Chelsea, but he's Nottingham Forest, which is at the bottom tier he gets the chance to play.
Yeah.
And he gets the chance to practice every day of the week against really good EPL players. And then they're playing all the big guns in their league games. So he has a chance either to continue to grow as a keeper, or if he gets overwhelmed, then he'll be cut loose a year from now. But he earned this chance, and hey, hats off to him. We'll root for him.
Yeah, totally. I'm all in to support him because he was a like a personality,
Sure.
during the Men's World Cup and some of these, whether they call them the CONCACAF games that are going on in North America. But even Zach Steffen, I think he's an American as well, and he was on Man City for a while. So it's just all these American keepers. It's just interesting how that works. But I also want to comment about the transfer fee, because that seems like that's unique to international soccer, because we don't have anything like that in America.
Well, we have free agency, but this is unique. The club selling the player gets a transfer fee from the Saudi team, if you will, talking about Harry Kane. And then Harry Kane gets a 2 or 3, sometimes a 5-year contract. But this is Saudi Arabia's got the PIF fund, and they just keep writing checks. And they don't care about how it impacts the English Premier League or what's going on in Serie A in Italy, what's happened in Spain, La Liga. They don't care about the competitive balance when they're ripping all those players out. Those players have a right. But to me, maybe I'm old school. I'd find it hard to believe that I could accept that money to go play in a country that treats people the way they treat their people, be it women or be it the lesbian community, and has the politics it does. And again, it all spins back to LIV golf and blood money. So I don't know. If they offered me that kind of dough, I'd have to look at it and say, I don't know that I could do that just based on who you are writing the check. Your response.
Yeah. I mean, you have to have a certain moral code. Now, the issue, though, is that are the people that are employing these athletes in Saudi Arabia, are they necessarily bad guys, or are we just using kind of an umbrella for the whole regime, the Saudi regime? So it's tricky, but money talks.
People walk.
Yeah. So they're going for it. So yeah, it's something. But the other actually came to me, the transfer fee thing that works with Major League Baseball in Japan, right? It's the same thing.
The posting system.
Okay.
For a player developed in Japan that wants to come here, if they're not an unrestricted free agent, if you're 18 years of age and you're signed to play in Nippon League, you can't come here, I think, till maybe you've been there 5 years. And then to come, the MLB team that wants to bid has to post a fee that goes to the club, and then you negotiate the contract with the player to bring them on board. Now, the rules change a little bit. If you're an 18-year-old who's never signed a pro contract in Japan, you can come without a payment. Oh. It's really different. Or if you're a 25-year-old player who's played and your contract is up, and there's a star outfielder, I think his name is Jun Lee, who's been hurt. He was hitting 340 when he got hurt. He'll be beyond that 25-year threshold. He walks out the door in Japan's already indicated, I will negotiate. There's no posting fee for him because he's been in the league for a period of time. Each of the countries abroad has a different set of financials to get a player. Mexico strangles their guys. You can't get players out of Mexico because the fees are so high. Japan lets them go with a posting situation. Korea and Taiwan are a little bit different. Cuba is, if you get off the island, you get a chance to get a contract. Of course, every club now has an international slot of amount of money that you can spend. You can't go over that international slot. So it's a very different way to do business.
Yeah, all these are global games. The rules are different, and as a sports fan, we're trying to keep up with it all. You got all the goods.
I can't balance my checkbook, but I can tell you about posting fees and the rules and the regs.
Your wife must love that.
Listen, hope you're enjoying